Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. Starting off with a quick movie review, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which we went to see opening weekend because it's Godzilla. My husband is a humongous Godzilla fan, so I was really hoping that this would be good, just, you know, for his sake. Also because I would like to enjoy it as well, but mostly just so he could enjoy it, because he did not care for the 2014 Godzilla, directed by Gareth Edwards. There was not enough Godzilla in it, and I agree with that. I understand that Gareth Edwards did that Monsters movie, and it was a low-budget production, so they couldn't show the monsters, so they had to be more clever about the stuff, so, like, I get that, but with Godzilla, he had a budget and could do a big CGI Godzilla destroying things, and there was just not enough of that. They kept cutting away. It's super frustrating and annoying. He actually rewatched it before watching the new one. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And it's fine, I can still follow the story they pick up, and they mention things from San Francisco Destruction and whatever, and it's fine. But to my delight, this particular Godzilla movie, it's the first American Godzilla movie that actually feels like a proper Godzilla movie, in which there are humans trying to do something while the giant kaiju are just beating the crap out of each other and destroying cities, and it looks like the end of the world. And yes, the reviews are complaining about how, like, I saw all these reviews, and they're like, oh, the humans are stupid, the characters are lame, and you don't care about what happens to them, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, that's kind of the point. Like, no, the point of a Godzilla movie is the giant monsters destroying everything. The human stories are incidental. As long as they are reasonably interesting and you're not completely bored, then it's fine. And they actually do a reasonable job with this. I mean, it's amazing to me how they can get, like, legitimately talented actors who have real careers as serious actors to be in movies like this. But hey, what are you gonna do? Like, it helps elevate the film, and they try to throw in some twists and turns, and there's some sketchy motivations, and it's like, okay, fine. But the real meat of the story is, you know, Godzilla and the other monsters destroying everything in sight, and to that end, does a great job. Of course, as you know, my husband hates 3D, so we had to see this in 2D. And it does not appear to be playing in IMAX 3D, so I'm thinking I might go back and see it again in 3D, just because I'm curious. There were only a couple of shots where things felt like, oh, that would look cool in 3D. But I feel like it might help with the kaiju battles to get a better visual sense of, like, what you're looking at, because a lot of the kaiju battles take place in the dark and the rain and storms. Like, there's a story reason for that, but it just obscures these visuals. And I'm like, if you had a guy in a cheap suit, yes, you're going to want to shoot it in such a way as to obscure the cheapness of it. But here, you have CGI monsters that look very realistic, and why not let us see them properly? It's super frustrating, and a lot of these movies do that. And say what you will about Pacific Rim Uprising, but that movie let us see the kaiju versus giant robot battles in broad daylight, so we could see it and enjoy it, and it was great fun. So, hopefully, when they release Godzilla vs. Kong next year, that being taking place on Skull Island hopefully will take place in some daylight, and we can actually see and enjoy the giant kaiju battles, because that's what you're paying for. As for gaming, unfortunately Sony released another PlayStation update to the system software, and it ruined my PlayStation again. It seems like every other update that they release, I feel like I should only install every other update, because Now I am eagerly awaiting another update so that I can put my PlayStation to sleep and wake it up and jump right back into the game. Because this whole time that I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I've been able to just jump right back into the game, no problem. But after installing the most recent system update, yesterday I went to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, tried to boot up my PlayStation, and the blue light just kept blinking and blinking and blinking, and I'm like, fuck you. And I had to shut it off manually, then I've got to wait for it to reboot and check the hard drive, and then it's got to start up, and then I've got to load the game, and it's like, because I went through, you might recall, regular viewers might recall that I went through that period of complaining with Red Dead Redemption 2, because there was an update during that period of time that I was playing that game, that borked it and made it, you have to shut it off and turn it back on again. So that's super frustrating, and I'm really hoping that Sony releases a new update soon, because like the whole point of these systems is you're supposed to be able to put to sleep and wake it back up again and jump right back into your game. It's a selling point. So when you give me a system update that borks that particular selling point, really irritating. But I am still playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and enjoying it. I have encountered I had a very epic boss battle, because I recently discovered Atlantis, which was, you know, unexpected. That was a bit of a twist. I was a little surprised by that. But they just jumped full in on the, like, mythical beasts and everything, and the magic, and I'm like, okay, we're going here, that's great, awesome, sweet. So I had a encounter with a Sphinx that was actually relatively simple, because all I had to do was guess her riddles, and they were actually really easy, except for the last one, where if it wasn't multiple choice and I didn't see, like, the options that I was given, when I saw the options, I was like, oh, it's that. But without the options, I wouldn't have been able to just come up with it. But then I fought an actual Minotaur, as opposed to the fake ones on the other island. Here, I fought an actual Minotaur, and that was an epic boss battle. It was difficult, but doable. So I still have not adjusted my difficulty settings. So that's great. I have not actually... My Switch has been collecting a little bit of dust lately. Last couple weeks I haven't really done much with my Labo VR, because I've got two things, the elephant and the blaster gun, to put together, and those are kind of like big projects, and I'm like, eh. So I haven't actually been like, okay, I'm going to sit down now and spend an hour or so putting this together. But I have nothing else on my Switch to play, and I kind of wish that I did, because I wouldn't play it at home necessarily. I would like something to play on the train, you know, to and from work and such. I mean, granted, I also will be playing Animal Crossing on my 3DS, but that doesn't take the whole trip, so it would be nice to have something extra to play on my Switch. And right now, I just don't really have anything playing. I thought about... I mean, because they just recently released Assassin's Creed 3 on the Switch, which is great. I have actually not played that one. I did play Assassin's Creed Liberation, which comes with it as a bonus. That was the Vita game that I thoroughly enjoyed. And it was great to have a handheld version of Assassin's Creed that played like the console game. So to have Assassin's Creed on the Switch playing a proper console Assassin's Creed game on the go is super cool. However, I don't want to play Assassin's Creed at home and then play another one on the go, because I'd rather play something different. Also, because it's an older Assassin's Creed game, I don't believe that it will compare favorably to Odyssey, so I don't think it's a good idea. So I'm not playing that. I also considered getting... I was like, well, I never did get Octopath Traveler. However, after that came out, because I did enjoy the demo a little bit, but I didn't get it when it came out, and then the reviews and people were saying, like, oh, it gets really, really hard and everything, and I'm just like, ooh, maybe that's not the game for me. So, I have been tempted by Ys 8, which the reviews have been good, and I have some friends who are playing it, and they like it, and I'm sort of tempted to get that, but at the same time, that's like a big RPG. It's an action RPG, which isn't usually my thing, but I'm okay. I prefer a turn-based RPG, but I can do an action RPG because then it's, you know, like Zelda, it's just like going, it's all action. it's when they combine the two to do like the active time battle system, which is like a turn-based time battle system, but the timer's going and things are happening and you don't have time to actually think about your move. I like traditional turn-based where you can actually think about what you want to do next. Work your way through the menus and do it. If it's an action RPG with the button mashing, that's a little different, whole different story. But it's getting good reviews, it looks good, and I'm tempted, but at the same time, I'm like, if I get this now, I won't be done by the middle of July when Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 comes out for the Switch. Because I'm really interested in that one. Because I've played previous Ultimate Alliance games and they're fun, and this one I'm like, awesome, and it's a Switch exclusive, which leads me to be hopeful that it'll play really well portably, because like sometimes when they port games onto the Switch, they're thinking about you're going to play this on your TV, and they're not thinking about like the text and graphics being reduced down onto the portable screen and people playing it portably. I mean, sometimes they do, but oftentimes it's like, oh, we'll just port it over. And it's like, oh, this doesn't play really well portably because everything's all tiny. So I'm sort of like, I'm tempted by that. But I wouldn't finish Ys 8 in time to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance in the middle of July when it comes out. I wish Marvel Ultimate Alliance was coming out in the middle of June, because then I would have it and I could be playing it, and then I would have that to play on my like long bus ride to Massachusetts for the 4th of July weekend that I do every year. But now I'm like, what do I do? Like, do I just not use my Switch until July and then just get Marvel? Or do I get Ys now and play that, and then eventually play Marvel like in August or September, depending on how long it takes me to play Ys? I don't know. I am a little bit torn. Although, to be fair, if I got Ys now and played it, like, no, I wouldn't be playing Marvel when it comes out, but what if Marvel comes out and the reviews aren't that great? Then I'd be like, oh, well, I'll just get Ys, and then, you know, I should have been playing it for a month anyway. But I think I might be talking myself into getting Ys 8. If you have played it, let me know your thoughts and convince me to buy it or not. Because I'm thinking I might get that, just to have a nice RPG to play, and then I can just get, because I can get Marvel Ultimate Alliance at some point later down the road, and it's not that big of a deal. I'm sure the reviews will be good. I'm sure it'll be fine. I can't imagine they would like screw it up, but you never know. So yeah. Let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations for Switch games that I should maybe play. But not Let's Go Pikachu, because I can't get Let's Go Pikachu because that was on my list, as you recall. I can't play the Pokemon game because I have to wait for the regular Pokemon game, because I can't play Let's Go Pikachu because I put it on my Christmas list, it was on my Amazon wish list, and it disappeared because it got bought. But I don't think that I didn't get it for Christmas because we didn't have Christmas with that part of the family, and I think they're hanging on to it to give me at some point, or possibly next Christmas. I don't know. But I'm afraid to buy it because I don't want to end up with 2 copies. So, not that. But recommend other things. I like a good RPG. I like a good story adventure. And you watch this, you know what I like and what I don't. What I've talked about over the years that I've been doing this. So let me know in the comments any thoughts you might have, and I will take those into consideration, and I might have a new game to talk about next week if I have made this decision. See you then! Bye!